Hello, I just want to say hello to the community of YouTube out there. Those of you that are subscribing to this channel. So far we're at one, which is better than none, but I'm sure as things take off, hopefully we'll keep increasing. What to speak about today? Again, it's always been kind of, I made it sort of clear from day one that there wasn't going to be much structure behind kind of like my videos type thing. It's going to just be off the bat. And I just want to talk a bit about self-harm, really. And I desperately don't want to think and be that self-harmer. It's not something that I choose. It's not something that a lot of self-harmers choose. To really understand self-harm, you've got to be a self-harmer yourself. So I can go weeks, months without, and then if the opportunity presents, and it's just made me kind of go around in my head, am I a bad person and stuff like that, and everyone's basically told me that, John, you really can't help it. There's always parts of it you can help, but the illness itself, I can't help. I mean, right now my mood is just so low. Like I just can't pick myself up to do anything. I sometimes go days without eating. I'm sleeping a lot. And I just feel like there's no way out for me. I'll try and look towards the future and try and be as positive as what I can. But each little avenue always ends up down that line of suicide. And there's plenty of reasons why I would never. I can never say I'll never do it, but I'm working purely on protective factors. Family. There's a lot of friends. Good friend of mine that in a couple of years' time is going to need me quite extensively. So I need to be there for him. It's hard for people to understand the concept of protective factors. And when I say, to loved ones, I'm purely existing for you people. I'm not living for myself. They say, but you need to live for yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I can understand where they're coming from. I can understand where they're coming from in a way, because if I was sat in their shoes, I'd want them to fulfil their potential. But the thing is, from my point of view, I am existing for everybody else, and I'm not here for John Whitehead. Like I've said, and again, I'll probably put a trigger warning on this video, just in case, it's just to cover all angles, because I don't want to upset anyone. But like I said, it wasn't for my family and friends, I'd have ended it by now. So I'm purely existing. Now I'm on a section. I've kind of accepted this is me now. I've accepted that I'm institutionalised. But if that stops me from acting on my suicidal urges, and doesn't cause family that grief. For example, parents having to bury their son. My sister, I'm very close with, what effect it have on her, what effect it have on friends. You know, I don't really see myself as anything really. I believe I'm a waste of oxygen, and I think that my family and friends would be better off without me. And I've asked family to cut me off, and the responses I've had is no. One response was, I think, something like "fuck off." You know, a lot of people would give their left leg for a family like that, so supportive. So it's hard not to feel selfish while you're feeling that way, whilst you got the best support network in the world around you. You know, I wish I could trade places with a lot of people who were worse off. You know, people in other countries and stuff like that, or someone who's living a life. For example, let's just say, for example, somebody in a freak accident got paralysed. You know, I would give them my life and take theirs and just be that existing person. Because they might have gone through something and it might have been an accident and it could have taken their life away from them. And how does that seem fair? It's almost like there's no justice in the world sometimes. If you're wondering why I'm fidgeting, it's blue tack. I use it as almost like my stress ball, and try and fidget with it to stop me acting on my self-harm urges. I mean, it's not a cure, but it's something that I've always got in my hand, even in my psychology sessions, all that kind of stuff. So where do I go from here? I don't know really. I really don't know. Because like I said, it doesn't matter what way I think about stuff and how things could go, it always ends up a certain way. Do I reminisce back to times when I was that lean machine in the gym? Yes, I do. Does it bother me that I've let myself go? Sometimes, yes, it does. Most of the time, no. Because I just think, well, my life's over essentially. One thing I'm always credited on by staff and the doctor is my anger control. I've got extremely good anger control. I think my dad's taught me a lot of that about speaking your mind, but doing it at the same sort of tone you would in a normal conversation, not raising your voice. You'll find quite a lot of people in places in the system that are quite bitter towards the system. See, I'm not one of them. If anything, I thank the system because it's keeping me alive. I've ruled a lot of things out. I'll never get in a relationship again because I'm not gonna let anybody sign up for this. You know, all over my last YouTube channel, it's well documented that my life before I met my first love was tough. I had mental health issues, gambling, drinking issues. But when we broke up, that's when I really lost the plot and started self-harming. trying to take my own life, and that heartache, you know, I'm not going to say it's a few years on now, and that I still feel that heartache, and I shouldn't do because it's in the past, but I still feel that heartache, I still have those feelings. I mean, if I found out tomorrow that she'd met someone and she was happy and she'd had a kid, I'd be absolutely over the moon for her. Naturally, you know, I'm a human being, so there'll be a bit of emotion there, which won't be nice to handle. But the bottom line is that I love her that much. I don't like saying loved because that insinuates you loved someone, and then you obviously now you don't have any feelings. Clearly, I do because I just still think a lot about her. So if somebody else is giving I can't say her name obviously because it's not fair, my first and only love so far, the life she wants and deserves, then that's good enough for me. I tried, I really did. I don't think it's understood quite how hard I tried because I was undiagnosed with quite a lot of things at the time. So how I was dealing with things in the relationship weren't, well, normal really. But now I've been diagnosed with different things, and my diagnosis is obviously up for review like I said in my previous videos. I basically you know, it does go through your mind where you think, you know, if at the time, if they'd have known that you had for example, the EUPD, which is what I got diagnosed with after with, and obviously now I'm pretty much been diagnosed with OPD, and I've been told traits and many others. You know, you can't. I mean, you're a human being. You know, going over the past isn't going to help or make you feel better, but you do think to yourself, if they'd have known the extent of my mental health problems, would it have saved the relationship? You know, because a lot of the ways I was acting didn't make sense, but after the diagnosis I've been given, they make a lot of sense. So, you know, it's impossible to not go back and think about the past. But, you know, like my dad said, he once said to me, he said, John, I'm just going to say it as bluntly as I can. If you were strong enough as a unit, you would have gotten through it. And I wish to God we were as strong enough as a unit. I think we're extremely strong as a unit. My gambling, well, it was a massive contributor to why the relationship didn't work. And I'll always be an addict. Recently, I've come clean to the ward manager about my gambling relapse. I've relapsed, you know, big time. When I say big time for me, where I'm kind of secretive, in denial, all that sort of stuff, and he's kind of helping me through it. So I'm squinting because I'm short sighted and I'm seeing how long the video's gone for, 40 minutes. So I'm battling that addiction along with self-harm urges, and I know I know in my heart of hearts, despite what effort I put in, I know I'm fighting a losing battle, but I can't give up that battle for my family's sake. Otherwise, I would have done. Just remember that if you're watching this as a sufferer of any mental health condition, even if you're going through a bad time in your life, or alternatively you watching a loved one go through it, just try to remember that you're not alone, and maybe some of my video content might kind of reinforce that. And just grab all the help that's out there that you can get your hands on. It does come few and far between. I haven't got to a rehab unit overnight. It's taken best part of 7 acute admissions, 4 suicide attempts, and many other things. So it hasn't happened overnight. I've been in hospital for 2 years now, so I've pretty much given up on getting out. Like I say, I would never have a relationship again purely because I couldn't handle being hurt, and I couldn't have someone living with my crap basically. I certainly wouldn't bring a kid into the world because how can somebody who's unstable look after a kid? It just wouldn't work. I love kids. I love my nieces to death. I really do. But they're as close to daughters as I'm gonna have really. But just like I say, I've been to hell and back. I'm absolutely covered in scars from before. Again, I'm not going to tell you how I've done it in case there's a fellow self-harmer watching, but these scars are historic over the last 6 months, kind of when I went off the radar on YouTube and that. Or I think towards the end when I had to kind of rein it in was when I was self-harming extremely, and it was distressing a lot of people because I couldn't not talk about it on YouTube because I was in that much pain. So, but I won't, obviously the methods I can't go into. Obviously I'm still on my line of sight. If I wasn't on my line of sight, I would definitely be doing that exact same thing. Which doesn't really leave me with many options, does it? It's line of sight and sedation, existence, or what's the alternative? I can't think of one other than the one that I want, which is to not be here. But obviously I know, like I said, I've explained all that and why. So many views in that I'm so just conflicted by. I feel alone. I've got plenty of people who care about me, but I just feel alone in my head. I'm that ill at the moment. I'm even struggling to use my DBT skills. I'm hoping once I've been diagnosed, they can have a real look and maybe we'll get the right treatment. There is still, I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. I keep getting told by everybody that there is. And if they were telling me that they didn't have faith in me getting better, then obviously that would be quite troubling. but I personally can't see that light. All I see when I look in the mirror is a scumbag that's putting his family through hell, really. And I wish to God I wasn't wired the way I am. I really do. And I can pretend everything's fine, but it's not fine, and it never will be, unfortunately. I'm gonna cut this video now. Again, it's a bit of a random one. I hope some of you managed to take something from it. But like I say, I will put a trigger warning up. Just that's a sensitive topic to talk about. And on that note, just try your best. That's all anyone can ask of you in the end. Thanks for watching. Bye.